Okay, we're back. So last week we talked about the Ephesians 5 man. Actually, the last couple of times we've talked about the Ephesians 5 man. We've been spending a lot of time in virtuous, in in Proverbs 31. And in Proverbs 31, we have spent a lot of time unpacking the virtuous woman. We spent a week talking about being a lady, being a woman, or being a female. And we unpacked what a virtuous woman was supposed to look like. And so many women work so hard to be this virtuous woman, but does anybody ever take the time to talk about the virtuous man? Proverbs 31 was written by the Queen of Sheba to Solomon to tell him what kind of woman to be looking for. But when nobody teaches that for men. Nobody teaches that, and that may be why we have a shortage of virtuous men. Why we have a shortage of husbands that love these virtuous women the way that they're supposed to be loved. Because we don't even know why the book was written, why the letter was written. And so there are a couple of verses in Proverbs 31 that I want to unpack. And I want to unpack them because a virtuous woman needs a virtuous husband. Because what good is a virtuous woman with a man who doesn't appreciate her virtue? And so we're going to spend some time unpacking what does a virtuous husband look like. And the first thing I want to do, let's go to Proverbs 31, and I'm going to start at verse 11. Verse 11 says, "Her husband has full confidence in her, and lacks nothing of value." One of the biggest things that we see about some men when they get with women who have accomplished, who have degrees, who have education, and the fast fact. Y'all know black women are the most educated group in the United States right now. They hold the most PhDs. They hold the most master's degrees. Black women are the most educated group in the world. And if men are as insecure as they have been in the past, they will also be the most single. And I actually think that might be a statistic I read somewhere, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me. But they'll be the most single because if he can't have confidence in the fact that he is the man that God made for her, he will forever feel like, I can't be with this woman has too much going on, or he will make up excuses as to why she's not a good catch. When a virtuous woman and a virtuous husband can shake the world. I mean, shake the world loose. I mean, change the world in ways that we have not seen it done before, because when you have a man of virtue and a woman of virtue, the two of those things come together and they have power. The marriage bed, the marriage itself was created to be a powerful thing, because there are things that a woman can't do by herself and there are things that a man can't do by themselves. But when they come together in unity, but as the Bible tells us but together there's nothing that we cannot do. When they come together in unity and they come together holding each other's strengths and weaknesses and pairing the two together, we find a powerful thing. Marriage is a powerful thing. Marriage is something you want. And you don't want to just be married to just anybody. You want to be married to the one that Christ has kept for you. The one he made for you, because there are things that you can't do by yourself. There are things that you won't be able to see. I'm not married, but I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I just had this whole epiphany of a moment, because they saw something in something I created that I couldn't see. Okay? They saw something in something that I couldn't see. I made it. I created it. I sat there and put all the details together. I sat there and typed all the words. I did all of the artistic work around making that logo. But I did something that I created something that I couldn't see, a detail. This person saw it. And it blew me away, because we need that. And that's one of the things about marriage, and I'm not married, but about marriage that is so beautiful, is that what you can't see, I can see. What you can't do, I can do. And we come together and we can build something that is complete. Now, that's not to say that you're incomplete, but you're a complete woman and you're a complete man. That is, if you've been washed and you've been working on yourself and you've been reading your Bible and spending your time with Christ and dealing with your issues. If you come together and you're complete men and you're a complete woman, you're still not a complete union. And so when you have a complete man and a complete woman come together, they make a union. That's why they fit together. Okay? And that's why God designed it that way. You fit together, and you were made to come in, and you're not completing each other as individuals. You're completing each other as a unit, as one flesh. Okay? So the first thing is that the husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. He doesn't lose self-esteem because his wife is on top of the world. He does not lose self-esteem because she considers a field and buys it. That's one of the verses in Proverbs 31 that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Is that the woman, this virtuous woman, not only is she at home doing things, but she has the ability to invest in her future. She goes and she looks at the field and she sees, man, that would be a good investment. She considers it, she thinks about it, she's thoughtful, and she buys it. And then the verse goes on to say, and she plants vineyards on it. So not only does she buy the thing that she wanted, that she thought about and she contemplated about, but she goes and she makes it profitable. She's successful. The virtuous woman is not just homebound, she is successful and she walks in her calling. So for her to be this great, it takes a strong man of virtue to be able to say, you know what? I have full confidence that my wife is going to be great, that she is great. I'm going to be her cheerleader, and it doesn't take anything away from me because she's great. As a matter of fact, that makes us better. And that's a thinking thing. That's a mind thing. That's a place that you have to arrive to that says, you know what? My wife is great. My wife is strong. I would not have married her if she wasn't what she is presenting and what she's accomplishing. She can rule the boardroom and the bedroom. She can rule the household and all of these things. But because she's great outside the house, that does not diminish my value as a man. Now here's the deal. In order to arrive to that place, in order for you to get to that place, what you have to do is you have to arrive and you have to say, start looking on the inside of you and say, what do I have of value? Am I smart? Am I athletic? Am I leading my family? Am I praying for my family? Am I able to go and do things? I've taken some losses, but what in me is great? And the things in me that are great, how can those things be of value to this family, to my life, and to the world? And when you can be able to begin to look at the roster of the things that you've accomplished, you can stand there and be happy that your wife is accomplishing too. Okay? But that's a self-esteem thing in you. What are you doing? And a man that's not doing anything will never be able to stand next to a woman who is doing something and have full confidence in her. Okay? This is the Bible. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. Okay? That's the word. Now, the way that you get there is that you have to be working too. You really should be working, and you really ought to be working harder. And even when you fall in hard times, right? There are plenty of men who have lost jobs and their wife is working, and they're trying to find a job and they feel less than a man. But what are you doing in the home? What are you doing to get work? What are you doing to make funds? What are you doing to build the children? Because if you can look at the roster of what you're doing, and you're working within all of your ability, and so is she, you should be able to have the confidence thing. But you got to look inside of self and say, how is my working benefiting this house, this family, and this world? Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, let's look at Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31, verse about 23. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. So this virtuous woman is a woman, she is a boss. Like, she's out there sewing, she is out there doing amazing things. She is moving and making all types of stuff happen. She is wonderful. She is doing the thing. She owns businesses, she owns the field, and she compares it. Her family is never cold. I think the scripture says she is a boss. This woman is what a man wants or should want, right? But her husband, verse 23 says, is respected at the city gate. So he's a man of virtue. He's not sleeping around on her. He's not sleeping around on her. He's not bamboozling people. He's not trying to get over on people. He has integrity. Not only does he have integrity, when he walks in the room, he's not wondering, well, what do people know about me, because he's already sure that he's walking in goodness. He's walking in cleanliness. And so when he walks in the room, people respect him, that he's an upright man, that he's a just man, and that he has a reputation that is worthy of praise. Okay? Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders. He's a wise man. Now, everybody's not born with wisdom, but the Bible does say that those who desire wisdom